Hello, welcome to Banjo Lesson 8. So today we're going to be looking at a new tuning. We're going to be tuning to double D or double C with a capo on. And we're going to start with a few exercises and then we're going to look at a tune called Jack Wilson. So that was Jack Wilson, which is in the key of D, and so I was tuned in A, D, E. Now some people don't really like to tune up that high, and if that's you, you can tune to C, so it would be G, C, D, and then you'd put a capo on the 2nd fret and hook up your 5th string as well on the 2nd, 2 frets up from there. Of course, if you're playing on your own and not along with this video, then you can just be in C anyway. It'll feel exactly the same. It's just when you play along with this, obviously you'll want to be in D, or if you're playing with a fiddle player who's playing it in the right key. So before we actually look at the tune, let's familiarise ourselves with this new key and this new tuning. So if we're in D tuning, we've got D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Those are the notes in the scale, and so that we're going to be playing out of 2nd position to learn this scale, at least for the first bit. Then we're going to go up an octave and keep shifting up the neck to do that. So we've got your 1st finger is going to take notes on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the 4th fret, and 4th finger on the 5th fret. There isn't actually anything to play with on the 1st, so that's why we're going to do that. So open, 2nd, 4th, 5th, open, 2nd, 4th, open again on the next string over. You don't actually need to fret the 2nd string. And then carrying on up, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret. Now we're going to shift your whole hand up to 7th position, so your 1st finger is going to take the 7th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret, and that's a D scale in 2 octaves. Now I know it looks fancy going up the neck there, but if you take it slowly it shouldn't be a problem. So you've got D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, and then D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Too high for me to sing. So if you practice that scale nice and slowly with a metronome going up and down, so shift back there to your 4th finger. So if you do that nice and slow again with your metronome until you feel really comfortable with it, and then move on to this next scale exercise. So the next exercise, we're going to be effectively doubling our speed. So all those notes I was treating as on-beat notes, so we're going da, 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 da. So all downstrokes. This time around. Lots of the techniques we've already learned in order to do that. So we're going to start here with a hammer on, and then another hammer on, now another hammer on. We're going to use a slide to get us up into 3rd position, so 4 to 5 on the 3rd finger there. So now instead of playing our D on the open D string, we've actually played it on the 5th fret of the A string. Now drop thumb, open 1st string, 4th fret with your 2nd finger, because we're in 3rd position, 4th fret on the 2nd string, and then 3rd fret to get that G there, and we can get the A on the 5th string, so just a kind of normal downstroke and then the thumb getting the up there. Now we're going to shift up to the 7th fret with that first finger, hammer on, and then just a downstroke there. So okay, and then back down it's going to be a pull off, 5th string there, so 10 to 9, 7th, 5th string. Now shift down with that first finger to the 3rd fret and bring your 2nd finger onto the 4th fret. Below it's going to be a drop thumb and then an open drop thumb on both those 2 strings. Now slide down, we're probably going to be on our 2nd finger for that slide, or you can use your 1st if you prefer. Gets us into a better position, but the natural one to get to would be the 2nd. From what you've just done would be the 2nd, however the 1st is probably better for what you're going to go to, so depends what you'd like to do there. So 4, slide down to 2, and now we're going to go open to 5th, that's a drop thumb, and we're in 2nd position here, so using your 4th finger on that one, and then pull off 4 to 2, and then open. So again, use your metronome unbelievably slowly, get yourself familiar with where all the notes are, and gradually bring yourself up to speed with that one. Alright, so let's learn some of the most common chords for playing in D. So the first one, of course, is D, open, 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 2. Either play that with your 1st finger, or sometimes your 2nd finger will be most appropriate, depending on what you're coming from or what you're going to. Next chord, G chord, open, 2, open, 3, and I'm using my 1st and 3rd finger there. That means it's very nice and easy to change from G across to D there if you use the 2nd finger fingering for the D chord. D, G. And then the 3rd chord we're going to learn is A, 2nd, open, 2nd, open. 1st finger and 2nd finger. So just practice changing between those chords. So we're just going to try playing a little chord sequence here, just a very standard one. So we've got D for a bar, G for a bar, D for a bar, A for a bar, then D for a bar, G for a bar, half a bar D, half a bar A, and D. Now before, when we did this for playing in G tuning, we just played those chords like that. Nothing more going on. This time around I want you to try adding a bit of rhythm. So what we're going to do is we're going to strike the lowest string and then do a brush. So low brush, low brush. And then so we got D, brush, D, brush, G, brush, G, brush, D, brush, D, brush, A, D, G, D, A, D. So nice little simple rhythm like that. So let's try playing it slowly with the metronome. I've got the metronome set here to 60 again, but treating it as 30. So really nice and steady. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Back to D. G. course, start practicing that with your metronome that slowly and then gradually increase the speed as always. If you like to have all those exercises written out, if that makes it a little bit easier to follow what's going on, then of course you can have a look at the link, which is below this video in the description, where you can get hold of the book that I've written to go along with this series. Now let's have a look at learning this melody then, Jack Wilson. It only has one chord, just D, so we're not going to have to do much learning there. We'll just dive straight in with actually learning to play the notes of the tune. So we're going to start here. So you've got the open A string there, and then slide 2nd to 4th fret. I'm using my first finger, and then open 2nd string, and then back with your first finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. And we're going to add the thumb on the 5th string there. So next bit, so drop thumb, open first 2 strings, and then 2nd fret on the 3rd, followed by the thumb on the 5th, and then D, and then a D chord brush with the 5th string afterwards. So da 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 da. Next bit starts out the same. Just one note difference, so rather than going to the D string there, we're going to go to the A string. Da, 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 there. Brush on the D chord again. Now we've got the same first phrase again. This time round we're not going to do the full brush, we're just going to play the top note. It kind of emphasises that that's a melody note rather than just a kind of filling the gap kind of thing, because we're going to lead in now to the ending of the A part. So going down the scale, and then up again at the end with that clawhammer rhythm underneath, and then the ending. You've already had that at the end of the 2nd phrase, so da, drop thumb, and then 2nd fret there, and then A, brush. So that's the A part, which you play twice, and then the B part. So down that scale from the 3rd fret with your 2nd finger, and we actually continue down to the D on that 2nd string there. So G, F sharp, E, D, and then open 3rd, 5, 5 with the clawhammer rhythm underneath all of that, and then same thing again, going down that scale, and then the same ending as the A part, and repeat. Lovely little hypnotic tune. So if you take some time to get that under your fingers, and then we'll play it through together really nice and slowly. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. that's it. So get your metronome going nice and slowly and gradually build that up to a speed that you're happy with.